So all this week I've been working on Samba's canter. And this is the first request of the day to try to get her to canter. And she's just kind of snaking her head around and trotting quickly. So I have to ask several times, but then she gives me a nice little canter. And she keeps going, so I let her go for a little bit. Now, last time you basically told me to be more easy and casual about asking her to canter, which makes sense. Relaxation is the first level of the training scale, so the horse has to be relaxed to learn. I get it. I think I've been worrying Samba a little bit by asking forcefully and insistently for her to canter. And this is what causes her to dash around madly with her head flung to the sky. I must be making too big a deal about it. So I know the goal isn't just to make her canter, it's to get her to canter in a relaxed, carefree, happy way. And that's a lot more difficult than just getting her to canter. So I was more relaxed and nonchalant about asking her to canter. So what this video consists of is just the highlights of 3 days of training. So this is some of her best stuff. And it looks like I just keep at her constantly, making her canter, but it's actually not like that. I edited out the parts where we're just standing around, drinking in success, or changing the lunge line to the opposite side, or just walking. Sometimes when I get a goal in my mind, I pursue it with relentless determination, and all the joy of the process is lost. So this is me being nonchalant. She'll do a great job one time around, and then she'll do a crazy job the next time. And I'm just keeping it up. I'm hoping that I'm getting the right tempo here. I don't know. After each time, she gives me a canter, and then we stop. I give her a little rub on the face, and then ask her to go again. That's what you told me last time. And when we go again, I'll let her just walk or jog in a little circle till she seems like she's calmed down. And then I'll ask her again. So I hope that's the right tempo of rest and reward. One thing I'm not clear on is if I ask her to canter and she just rushes off in a trot, am I supposed to stop her and then make her go forward and try again? Or do I just continue asking while she's trotting? That's what I've been doing. She'll give me a fast trot like this, and I'll just keep asking until she finally breaks into a canter. Right now I'm just teaching her, I think, to canter when I say canter, regardless of what gait she's in. But she has done canter from a walk on a couple of occasions, and those are coming up. She just doesn't get it all the time, especially in the beginning of a training session. She's kind of reluctant to do the canter, and she'll give me a quick trot instead.
Good girl.
Now coming up here are 2 examples of when I had her just walking and I asked for a canter.
Good girl.
And lo and behold, she gives me a few strides of canter. And here we're going to do it again.
Canter.
Pinning.
Good girl.
So she's kind of getting it a little bit. She has her moments of marvelousness. Most of the time, this is how she does it, though. She'll kind of go into a trot first, and then canter a few strides. I'll say, good girl, and she'll stop and turn around and face me.
Good girl.
Now, this was a little scary. Look at what she does. She pins her ears and lunges at me. So I flick the whip at her to get her away from me, and she just takes off tear-assing around the outside of the ring. But I didn't make a big deal of it. I just let her go and let her run it out, get it out of her system. You know, I'm glad I'm doing this in the round pen because I think she would be dragging me up and down the arena half the time because she usually doesn't stay on a nice little circle. She was kind of aggravated with me today, I think, from all the asking. You know, our session is never longer than 30 minutes, usually more like 20. So you would think that she'd be able to tolerate, you know, doing a canter a few times in that space of time. It was like she was really fed up and wanted to quit. At least that's what I make of it. I don't know. Maybe you see something else happening here. And I noticed she very easily goes into a canter when I'm further away from her, and she's already trotting. I ask for a canter, and boy, she goes right into it. But now she's ready to stop. Now here I get her going on a small circle, and I ask her for canter. She gives me trot. I just keep asking. And she goes into a canter. And then she breaks, and I ask for canter again, and she goes into it again. And then she breaks again, and I ask her again. So I'm not rewarding her every single time she takes a stride of canter. I think I'm gonna start asking for a little bit more now and keep her going for a little while longer. Do you think that's appropriate? I mean, there's so many things to work on. You want to work on getting her to canter when you ask, and you want it to be a nice relaxed canter, and you want the right lead, and you want her to keep going until you tell her to stop. I mean, there's a lot to work on here. So right now I'm only trying to get the obedience of cantering within a few strides. And then the next step would be to keep her going a little bit longer.
Yeah, good girl.
Don't you think? Is that right? This is a super nice one. She's just walking, and I ask her to canter. She takes a few strides, but then she goes into it. She doesn't fling her head. She's not crazy in her energy. She's just kind of doing it. And that was nice. This is another good one. Here I'm just kind of touching her with the end of my whip to make her get out on a little bigger circle. So she's just plopping along, and I ask her to canter here.
Good girl.
Wow, she went right into it. And here she's doing a little jog, but there again, she goes right into it. So here you can see that she's becoming more attuned to cantering as soon as I ask. I don't have to ask her 4 or 5 times while she trots faster and faster. I'm going to ask her again. Yeah.
Good girl, yeah.
And this is the last one, and I think it's the best of all. She's nice and relaxed here. That was very nice.